Let's get to cooking. This is what we're doing today at Memaw's house. Hey y'all, welcome back to Memaw's house. Today I'm in the kitchen and here are the ingredients that we'll be using for the cake that we'll be baking. I am going to make a pumpkin buttermilk pound cake. And it is the third in the series of cakes that I'm baking to try out for my Thanksgiving dinner. So at the end of this series, and there's one more cake after this one that I'll be posting so that you can vote. And we'll do that over on a post here at YouTube. Anyway, here are the ingredients that we'll be using to make our pumpkin buttermilk pound cake. 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of pumpkin pie spice, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of dark brown packed sugar, 1 cup of white sugar, and I have that all in this container back here. So you'll see that all come in together. Then we'll have 1 cup of butter that is softened to room temperature, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 7 eggs, and thanks to Aunt Max, she gave me some eggs. My sister Max, she gave me eggs from a farm that she had access to. So thank you very much, Max, for the eggs. And 1 cup of buttermilk that I'll stir just before I put it in, and then 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin. So that's the ingredients. Now let's get to cooking. I'm going to start this cake by sifting my flour together with the other dry ingredients. This is 3 cups of flour. And let's get our other ingredients in. A teaspoon of soda, a teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we're going to add our 3 tablespoons of pumpkin pie spice. And I'm only actually adding 2.5 tablespoons of pumpkin pie spice, and that came out well. So I'll change the recipe to 2.5 instead of 3. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and finish sifting the rest of our dry ingredients together. Let's go ahead and crack our eggs. This recipe calls for 7 eggs. And like I said in my intro, my sister Max gave me some farm fresh eggs from some free-range chickens, and I'm glad that she did. Look at the yolks on these eggs. Now I'm going to put on some egg cracking music for you to enjoy while I crack the eggs. Now that the eggs are cracked and everything's set up, we can go ahead and cream our butter and sugar together. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know that that's where I start with any cake most of the time. Now I'm going to cream my butter and sugar together. And you know, I normally tell you to cream your butter and sugar together until it changes color. It's going to get usually with regular butter and white sugar, it will get a light, very light pale yellow. But now we have dark brown sugar and it's going to be a nice tan color. A shade lighter than this that you see now. So let's go ahead and speed up our mixer and get this creamed well. Okay, it has been mixed, creamed well together for 8 minutes, and I see that the color has changed slightly. I'm going to scrape down my bowl. And then we'll begin to add our eggs one at a time. I'm also going to add my vanilla at this time. Let's get our vanilla in. And remember, I beat my eggs in until the yolk disappears. And sometimes 2 eggs might slip in. They haven't done it yet, I don't think. And that's okay. Then they have some pretty color to that yolk. And that's what you get with a free-range chicken. Nice, deep colored yolks. Okay. Next thing we're going to mix in, we're going to alternate our flour with our buttermilk. My oven is ready. Did y'all hear that? It just beeped. We're going to bake this cake at 350 degrees if I didn't already say that. I'm going to mix in my pumpkin first. And this is a whole 15-ounce can of pumpkin. Let's get that pumpkin beat in slightly, and we'll start with our flour. Let me get this off the side of this bowl, and let's start with our flour. I'm going to beat it in a cup at a time. It's 3 cups of flour. And of course, I'm not measuring that. I'm just telling you that that's what I'm beating it in. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it, and you can do the same. As long as you get all that flour in there at the end of your mixing time. half a cup of your buttermilk, another cup of flour, you see I'm scraping down the bowl as I go. And you can always stop it and scrape down the bowl. That's not a big deal, as long as the bowl gets scraped down. And then we'll do our last half cup of buttermilk. And now the last bit of flour. I'm going to stop my mixer so that I can go ahead and do my last bit of mixing by hand. I like to do that so that I can make sure that I have mixed all of the ingredients from the top of the bowl to the bottom of the bowl well. And you know I got to get all my batter as much as I can off of my mixing blade here. So yes, I'm scraping it off, y'all. Move this out of the way. And can you still see me? We're going to mix this up. And I got me a new pan. I wanted to try it with this cake. You see it's decorative. You see that, my new pan? Let's see how she works. This pan is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to also make a loaf of this cake. Just a little bit more in and hope that it doesn't overflow. You know, I don't bake with little pans very often. But she was so cute. I thought, you know what? I need to get that little pan. I need her in my life. I'm sorry if I missed showing you how I got it into the other little baby pan, the little decorative pan. I thought I was in view of the camera, but you know, that happens sometimes. But there she is. I'm gonna show you when she comes out of the oven. All right, they're ready to go into the oven. Let's get there. Okay, so the cakes have been cooling for about 30 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip them out onto the cooling racks and let them cool for 30 minutes more or so that I can get the frosting or glaze on them. Both cakes came out of the pan beautifully, and they're nice and golden brown, and they're soft to the touch. I'm going to go ahead and make a cream cheese glaze, which you've seen me do a zillion times, I think. And of course, I'll add the ingredients to the glaze down in the description box. And here is our finished product with the glaze on it. I did not glaze the loaf cake because I wanted that to stay just plain, and it is delicious. It's a very moist cake. You see Peepaw's getting his hands on it because he wants to get a piece of it now. So we're going to have us a little piece of cake with some coffee, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give this recipe a try. And if you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to do so. We would love to have you over here at Memaw's house. Thank y'all so much for watching. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Here's a playlist and a video that may interest you. Y'all stay safe and be blessed. Bye.